Do you hate cold calling? Do you wish there was another way to prospect? Well, stick around in this video because I'm going to give you 3 different ways to prospect without having to do the dreaded cold call. My name is David Duford at davidduford.com, where I coach, train, and recruit insurance agents to become top producers. And in today's video, I am going to give you strategies that I have used as someone who brings insurance agents into the business and keeps them busy with leads on how to get in front of prospects without having to cold call. No matter what it is that you're selling, B2B, B2C, doesn't matter to me. Cold calling stinks, and a lot of people just hate doing it and want to know if there's other ways to prospect without having to pick a phone up and call strangers. So let's get started and jump right in. So the first thing here is what we call referral marketing. So let me explain how referral marketing works, because you may think it's one thing when it's really kind of sort of others. So referral marketing is where you basically use a client's recommendation or a center of influence's recommendation to generate leads to talk to. This is one of the most effective ways to get high quality leads. Every business loves referrals because referrals tend to have been sold already on the business before they showed up and asked or inquired about services. And unlike most businesses that leave the referral generation to chance, you can take steps to start actively doing it yourself. My recommendation is to ask for referrals at every sales presentation that you do. Go back to your old clients. Ask them how things are going. Do they enjoy the product you sold them? And then ask them nicely and earnestly that you're trying to build your business and help more people, and wonder if they had 1, 2, maybe 3 names of friends or family that might like to see what this is about, and insist that you're not going to bother them or high pressure sales them. And if you've done a good job for them and they like what you did, many will be more than pleased to give you names of people to talk to. You can also approach this with centers of influence, a little bit different, but this is where you approach people in your community that have a close connection to your product and basically partnering with them to help them and their clients with whatever it is that you're solving. So like a life insurance agent, a real estate agent makes a perfect prospect, because when people move into homes, they've usually gone into incredible mortgage debt. And so buying a life insurance policy makes a lot of sense to pay off the house if the breadwinner passes away, let's say, and maybe the house becomes unaffordable to keep. So we want to find centers of influence, go talk to many of them, create relationships with them. You can find a lot of them if you join a B&I group or something like that, a business development group, or mixers that you go to, and just keep relationships and help people out. And that's a good way to get referrals as well. The next thing on here is educational seminars. So I'm a big proponent of doing educational seminars where you teach a small group about the, not necessarily sell them per se, but you teach them on the education behind the product. So the way to look at this is that perhaps you are selling a product, let's say like mortgages. Well, how do you give a seminar on mortgages when you just want to sell a mortgage? Well, you got to take a couple of steps back and think about how you can educate clientele on maybe how to find the most affordable mortgages out there, or how mortgages work so that you don't get ripped off. And you do an educational based seminar that will provide interesting information to the audience at large, but specifically resonate with people who may be in the market, or again, who can provide you referrals who are in the market to find a mortgage. The reason to do seminars is that it makes you the authority by default. People assume if you're at a podium, you're either a celebrity-like status you'll have in their eyes, or that you just know what you're talking about, even if you're brand new, but you have the guts to show up and do it. I like doing educational seminars because it's a one-to-many approach. I can spend time prospecting at multiple people, and many times in a very qualified group, depending on where you do the seminars at, without spending individual time prospecting them all. And people can find out about my services in a less stressful manner than just a cold approach. So many of the business that you get from it is high quality. I used to do this as a part of my strategy for generating leads in the life insurance business. I would go into senior living facilities, not nursing homes, but independent living facilities, and talk about burial coverage and what to be concerned about, and got business all the time. So there's options to do it. and strategies that make it work very well. And the experience many times is very different than just cold calling, because you're kind of a trusted advisor in these eyes because of what you did for them in the seminar and the information you provided. Now, last but not least is paid lead generation. We're at the point now in most businesses that you can develop sales funnels utilizing media where people are heavily involved with, like Facebook, Instagram, even direct mail, depending on the business model, and create lead generation systems for people that you can talk to and get in front of them. Now, why does this work so well? Well, because they request the information, they solicit you. So for many people out there, like myself when I started in life insurance, I would have never gotten into this business cold calling, did not want to do it. But I had access to paid leads. In my mind, I thought, well, hey, they sent the information in, they must be interested on some level. Now, not everybody buys, as you'll find out, but the interaction, the mindset that you have with approaching them is much more positive because they were the ones that sent the card back. They were the ones that were interested. I'm just doing my job following up with them. So a lot of agents can wrap their head around that a lot easier and perform well. So again, any kind of paid type of marketing works well. What's hot right now is, in many cases, social media like Facebook and Instagram. LinkedIn is also a good medium as well. But traditional sources work. It's likely that depending on whatever it is that you're selling, that you're going to be in a position where you need to do the research on what's working well and what people are saying is working well. And then basically learning how to do that. It's going to take extra time, but many people love lead generation systems because it takes them off the cold call racket and makes life a little bit easier. I do hope that you enjoyed this training. Again, you want to get good at, if you want to avoid cold calling, get good at referral marketing, educational seminars, and or paid lead gen. You don't need to do all of these. If you get good at one thing and scale it up, that's pretty much all you need to do. Many of the highest producing sales professionals do one kind of prospecting activity exclusively. They don't do a million. They just get really good at one and scale it up beyond belief. David Duford's my name. DavidDuford.com is the website. If you're interested in selling insurance, go to DavidDuford.com to learn more about how it works with me. Y'all take care. See ya.